Hello. Today I thought I'd do a podcast on goal setting. It's the request of one of our FTEs. I was going to put it on FTE, but I thought this would be good for a podcast. It's basically something that I've had to do really aggressively recently. Now, one of my goals is to work out why, although I've plugged a microphone into my iPad, that this is recording off the built-in mic still. So there you go. There's an interesting one for you. Long-term goal setting is interesting because people tend to focus on what they want to be or where their business could go as the first thing they aim for. And that causes problems as you're trying to grow into your second and third phase of being a personal trainer. So initially being a personal trainer, you're normally inspired to help people, and you see this as a way of making a living while staying active and giving something back. But then comes to the point where you want to earn a little bit more, you want to work a bit less. So the second phase is, how do I grow this business? How do I put a passive income to this business? A lot of people, this is the time when they're most susceptible to falling into pyramid schemes. It's a hard time to say, right, I've started a career where I'm an hourly paid trainer. So my hours are really my product, and I have a limited amount of those. If I want to grow out of them, I want to use them for something else. I'm in a sticky situation. So the next place is to look for that. Can I get enough money in the hours I'm prepared to work to mean that I can live? That might be your second phase goal. And that's one normally of getting your price up. Now, if you plan this initially, your price would already be up and you'll skip this stage. And I have a few trainers that have done that. But at that point, you get full on the price you think you should be charging. And quite often, if you've been going through some sort of mentorship with me, that price is higher than you thought you could charge, because people chronically undervalue themselves in this industry. In my opinion, it's better to do 4 very good sessions that were very hard to acquire, but once you've got the clients, they stay forever, and the payment you get is a decent rate, than try and price match and end up racing to the bottom of the price heap and doing 8 or 10 sessions a day. And it's just an opinion. I don't really mind. I have friends who've priced themselves in a way that means they get to the clients they want. Pricing is just a means to attract a client of a certain disposable income, rather than a way of saying you're better or worse than another trainer. And I just tend to think it's better to get to a higher price and buy yourself the time to be able to give the client something a little better, rather than rushing everything through. So the second phase goal is normally getting up to the price you're worth. The first phase goal is normally starting to live. And then you have that difficult third phase goal. And this is really what I was being questioned on. It's, well, what do I do next? So I'm a trainer. I'm earning a third, maybe a half more than everyone else in my gym. I'm full. Maybe I've got another trainer or 2 trainers picking up clients for me because I'm that good that now I can train people to do what I do. Hopefully you've used the faster system. Obviously that's a plug, but a few trainers have come through our system and it's worked. And so you've got to that point, what do you do next? And that's quite a tough call, because are you going to point yourself towards your own venue, which I think some of the boutique personal training places, the one-offs, are doing really well, and it's a really nice place to sit. And it might be somewhere you can grow. Maybe you have 2 or 3, maybe you have 20 trainers in there, and it just gets bigger each year. But it is quite a nice place to be. You get to build your own team. On the flip side to that, obviously, the downside to that is you're now a landlord. So with that comes all the landlord responsibilities, building maintenance, building repair, dealing with incidents, dealing with insurance, and if you're going to employ people, employment rights, and so on and so forth. None of which is a massive problem, but also all of it could take you away from the thing you love doing. Maybe you specialise. So I have trainers who are really good who've said, right, I want to start moving my clients so they all become the clients I love training. So I have one of my trainers who's specialising in golf. That's where his passion is. That's where the clients that he likes most, that's where they sit. And that's his goal. So he can get his price up again because he's starting to get to a niche. So he can work a little less or earn a little more. He starts to get into an area where there aren't many experts. People rely on their qualification, not their content, to get out there, and that's his move. Maybe you take what you do and you put it online. Maybe you grow through an Instagram following, or you grow through running your own online personal training business or YouTube business, and maybe that's your way forward, and you start moving from live in person to producing online material that then you can either sell or get sponsored to promote other people's online material. You get a better rate to get out and promote and teach. The other side is you might say, right, I want to teach now and get into education. Hopefully you come through my FTE program, and hopefully you start teaching my products, and maybe you do my course directors program, and maybe inside the course directors program you start teaching your own product with us, hopefully, and we help you get recognised nationally and internationally, and then you move to expert level, brings your price up as a personal trainer, makes you more niche as a personal trainer, allows you to bring other trainers into the industry and give back and get to more clients, and so help more people, which ticks a lot of people's boxes. I think ultimately though, what should make your choice is where you sit in terms of what you want to be doing, how hard you want to be working, how many hours, how much you want to earn, and what you want to be doing during that time, and what you want to be doing out of that time. So to construct your goal, you need to be really firm and start saying, right, what is it that makes me really happy? What can I see myself doing for the rest of my career? Can it support me? Can it allow me to retire when I want to? Is fitness just a one step on the road, and maybe I want to be a landlord and have multiple places? Do I have an idea to support that? Do I have an idea for an app or a website or an online product that I can find funding for and start to grow myself? What is it that I want to do? And I think the problem with goal setting is we start off as personal trainers, as coaches, as physios, wanting to help other people so much. We don't really think about what it is that really does it for us. And I think the reason the third goal is so difficult is because by the time you get to the third goal, you're really starting to plan around you. You've got to be a little bit selfish. So how much do you want to earn? How much do you want to work? What do you want to be doing when you work? Who do you want to be doing it with? Do you have the ideas to support this? Do you have the talent to support this? Do you have people to bounce ideas off to try and make this a reality? To goal set properly, you need to really understand what it is you want to get and then start building backwards. And some of that's just real intense soul searching of, why am I doing this? What attracted me to this industry? Is it enough to keep me here? How do I make the income and the security I want? Do it. Maybe the goal is to drop down some of the fitness stuff you do so it becomes a hobby as you build up another form of income or another career. And it might be a career that's really related. Like I say, you might end up being a landlord. You might end up with multiple properties that house personal training, and the money's in the properties, not the personal training. But whatever it is, You need to start way out at that goal of that life goal, that I'm going to eat this way, sleep this way, train this way, I'm going to spend this long working, I'm going to have a passive income that's this much, I'm going to plan this way for my future, this is what my ideal place looks like, this is the work that needs to be done to support that, so therefore those are my goals. And I think it's once you have that in place, then you can start to break that goal down and set targets and work out which experts you need, what finance you need, what training and education you might need, and start to lay that out. And you can do that all at a time that your business is flourishing now. So the great thing about a third phase goal is you've probably jumped the hardest parts of being a personal trainer. And now, although this is difficult, I did describe it as the hardest goal to set, it's probably not the hardest part of your career. As long as you don't let go of the things that made you successful until you don't need them anymore, if you don't need them anymore, then you should be fine just getting ahead and creating this optimal place that you want to be. Now, my only other thing there would be to say, think in the positive, obviously, but think about wide goals. Think about, I'm going to achieve this, but there's several routes to get here, and there's several end goals that might be right. I might have 10 studios, I might manage 10 studios. I might manage 20 trainers, not even have studios. Try and be big enough in your goal that you have space to achieve it in many ways, and you'll arrive at it at different places. Once you have that goal defined, then it's simple. You break it down into financials, operations and marketing. You start with however many years ahead it is, and you build backwards until you have a daily opportunity to work on this. And that's what we do through F Squad. And that's what you should really be starting with. How do I build forward each day towards a goal that I've built backwards from? I hope that's helpful, and drop us a mail or talk about this on Facebook if you like, if it did help you. Thanks a lot. Bye.